Greetings, class. I wanted to take just a few minutes to help you navigate through the Brightspace course shell. I know that you've had an opportunity to visit resources available to you within the Orientation and Important Resources tab. Again, here you will find the syllabus as well as the calendar. There is a tab titled APA Resources, a number of resources here. I would encourage you to visit those resources as you complete your introduction as well as your literature review. The resources will also serve as a benefit prior to completion of the APA assignment. There are tabs here for both the Holman Library as well as the Writing Center. Remember that you are required to either complete a library consult or have a Writing Center consult at some point during this term with submission of completion. Those resources are available to you online and virtually and do not need to be completed face to face. There are other resources available to you within the McKendree Essential Resources tab, including a link to financial aid and the McKendree University homepage. When we visit the class activities, assignments, and more tab, this is where you will find the bulk of information relative to each of your assignments discussed with the syllabus and the calendar. Recall that you will be submitting your literature review in 3 parts. First, you will submit your introduction, followed by your literature review. Then you will combine those, you will add a conclusion, and you will submit your final paper. So what I have included here for you is a video specific to the introduction, which is the first writing assignment that is due this term. There are guidelines as well as a rubric for that assignment. Following the introduction, the literature review is due. The literature review must include a minimum of 10 primary research articles that address the clinical problem. There is a video overview of that assignment here, as well as guidelines and a rubric. For the final paper, you will combine both the introduction and the literature review and respond to feedback that has been shared with you. You will add a conclusion and submit the final paper. Again, here there is a video overview of the final paper as well as guidelines and a rubric. With regards to online discussion, as I mentioned, there are 3 discussion threads across the course. Those are embedded in Module 1, Module 5, and Module 7. You will find rubrics specific to each of those modules here, so please do take some time to review those. With discussion, recall that your initial post or your response to the discussion question should occur prior to Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. and you should respond to one peer by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. When we look at discussion for Module 7, you will post a video of you will post a presentation of your literature review, and there are no peer responses required for that module. As I mentioned with coverage of the syllabus and the calendar, there is both a APA assignment as well as a plagiarism tutorial and accompanying assignment due to this term. When we click on this tab, you will find a link to the plagiarism tutorial. It will be important for you to pay close attention to the tutorial. Close attention to the tutorial will be absolutely necessary for successful completion of the post-test and to earn that certificate. That certificate should be uploaded into Brightspace. And here we will also find the link for the APA assignment. There are 16 questions pertaining to APA style and format, worth a total of 8 points. As I mentioned earlier, with coverage of the syllabus and the calendar, later this term you will be asked to complete a peer review of an individual in your class, their literature review. Here you will find the peer review rubric as well as the form that should be completed for that review, and that you will turn into that individual, that peer that you were assigned to, as well as myself. That will be submitted in Brightspace. When we move back to the course home tab, once we have looked at each of the assignments, there is also a tab titled Modules. You will find respective content here relative to each of the modules across the course. So with Module 1, you will have objectives, and you will see objectives for each of the modules, and then any relevant resources pertaining to the content across that module. While we do not have a discussion thread for modules 2, 3, and 4, or 6, there are still discussion threads set up, and you can find those links in the respective module. So here we move to Module 3. Again, for each module, you will find objectives as well as relevant resources to help you accomplish the activities and the assignments due within that respective module. When we move back home, the other tab that I want to visit is specific to the statistics portion of the course. If you click on Statistically Speaking, as I mentioned with a review of the syllabus and the course calendar, there are several statistics quizzes that must be complete prior to the end of the term. The calendar does illustrate for you a recommended path for completion of those quizzes. Although there is not a respective due date each week, instead the due date has been placed at the end of the term for all quizzes. I would recommend that you not wait until the end of the course, however, to complete those and to follow the guidelines suggested on the calendar. But for each of the quizzes, there will be statistics content available to you, chapter PowerPoints, both video as well as visual. You'll find the assignment links for the statistics quizzes here, and you can move through those. Again, you will find PowerPoints respective to the content to that chapter, as well as audio PowerPoints, and then the respective links for each of the assignments. So when we move back to the course homepage, again, that is all of the tabs for this Brightspace course shell. Remember that the syllabus, the calendar, can be located underneath the Orientation and Important Resources tab, that you will want to visit the APA Resources tab with completion of the introduction, the literature review, a wealth of resources here. I would also encourage you to review those resources as you prepare to take the APA assignment quiz. There are available links for the Holman Library as well as the Writing Center. Those are conveniently there for you. The Class Activities and Assignments tab, here you will find several videos respective to each assignment. So more detail is given to you for each assignment. You will find other videos here. And then the module tab, this is where you'll find content relative to each module. Statistically speaking, all of the statistics content is embedded within this tab here. To visit the discussion, you can enter through the module, or you can come up here to the communication tab and click on discussion. So you can also enter discussion this way. Please note, again, we only have mandatory discussion threads at Module 1, Module 5, and Module 7, but I do have discussion threads set up for each module in case you should have questions. If you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to meet with you via Zoom, via email, or by phone. Again, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I look forward to working with you this term. Thanks so much.